Today is Saturday, the 25th of October, 2025. Today's New York Times crossword by Byron Walden, edited as usual by Will Shortz. Let's get into it. Okay, calendar month between Shaban and Shawwal. I don't know. Could that be... They sound like they could be Islamic names. Could it be Ramadan? Like a lunar calendar type of thing? It does fit. I'll give that a try. Okay, one down. Sharp blow to the chest. Sharp blow to the chest. Nothing comes to mind. Staple in a poke bowl could be ahi tuna, which is a type of tuna, very common, I think, in poke bowls, or generally in Japanese cuisine. Okay, runs superbly could be hums. It's humming. Let's see. Titular figure in a scandalous John Singer Sargent portrait. Not sure who John Singer Sargent is, but it was a scandalous portrait, apparently. Someone beginning with M. Sort of president, I wonder? No. M something M. Marilyn Monroe? That wouldn't fit. No, I'll have to come back to that. Maintains. Something like avers or... no, not sure. Negative impression. Negative impression. Like a ding, maybe? Like an impression, like if you get a ding on your car, that could be leaves an impression, I suppose. Could be. How does that work with sudden movement? Sudden movement, like a jolt or a spasm, or no, nothing comes to mind. I'm not super sold on ding, so I'll get rid of it for now. Might put it back later if it works. Sports org in the 2024 film Challenges. So that's a tennis film. So I think it's the ATP, which is the Male Tennis Federation. I'm not sure what ATP stands for, but the T certainly stands for tennis. Okay, that's great. Here's the hard truth. This is a very long one. I'm not sure that I've got enough to work with here. So it wouldn't be the truth is or something alert or like here's the hard truth. Brass tacks. No, not sure. What about this one? 46 years. That feels pretty arbitrary. I'll come back to that. So sudden movement could be a start, I wonder. Start. Like a startle. Start could be related to startle. So maintains a verse? It could be, actually. Could be. I did have that in mind. Negative impression could be a dent. Oh, ding, dent, which is probably a much more accurate word for what I was actually trying to describe. So a dent, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Okay, here's the hard truth. I have to tell you, maybe. I have to tell you? Maybe something I have to... Could be something like that. Let's see. Sharp blow to the chest. Rip shot? Rim shot? Some sort of shot, possibly. Rib shot. Rib shot is in the chest. Okay, cool. Okay. 46 years. That one's just confusing. What about this one? Titular figure. So is it like Madam something? Wait a minute. What's this? Biden? Biden presidency? 46 years? Why would it be 46? Oh, Biden presidency. Yes. He was the 46th president. So the years in which he was president are the 46 years, okay, of the Biden presidency. Okay. So then it is Madam something. I don't know, Madam X. Is that a thing? And then, oh yeah, I do know this one. 1992 U2 hit, One Love, etc. By German reunification. Sure. Financial reporter tax does kind of make sense. So like a tax agent, they report your finances to the IRS. Possibly. Suspect. Iffy or like, oh wait, I think I just picked that up from this one next door. Suspect. So it could be someone being accused of something. Or it could be that you suspect something. I suspect something, not sure. Very iffy. Not sure. Busby Berkeley musical film that introduced I Only Have Eyes for You. I don't know what Busby Berkeley is, and I don't think I know that song either. All right, I'll come back to that. Okay, Longship Builders Norse Northmen, possibly. So maybe it's not tax agent. Norsemen, like the Vikings, I suppose. They built and used long ships. Pinched could be stole, maybe. Whoops. Stole for pinched. Treasure hunters find. Like gold or prize, a relic. Not sure. Biden presidency, I'm feeling pretty good about. What about this one? Last something. Leading Belgian French language. I have no idea. Something Farnsworth invented, dubbed the father of television. I don't know. Intoxicates could be besots. Like, but if you're besotted, you're intoxicated. Could be. So I have to tell you. I have to tell. Here's the hard truth. I have to tell you. I have to tell some. I have to tell. Well, maybe it's not tell. I have to. Not sure. Some solid marks. Could it be like B pluses? Like that's a solid mark, I would think. Could be. And then treasure hunters find a load. Okay, like a gold, a load of gold, a load of some sort of mineral. Okay, la could be just la une, the one. Could be. I have to. Maybe it's not. Oh, I had the T there. I probably shouldn't have kept that. I have to. Something you. I feel like I have to something you. Makes sense. Does it? No, because then none of these work if I have you. Okay. I have to something say. No, that doesn't quite work either because then we'd have SSN. Mocap suit components though. Mocap suit components. So I did have a Y here before and it kind of made me think of the word sync. Sync cam, could it be? Like a camera that keeps your movements in sync with the animated figure, potentially. Something Moroni. No, I have no idea. Break character. Not sure. Slender hospital tools. Slender hospital tools. What are some tools that I can think of? Syringes? Could it be syringe? So it says tools though, which suggests multiple. So it might be something ending in S, but it would certainly be a plural. And syringe fits as a singular, but not as a plural. So I don't think it goes there. What about this one? Word on either side of against. Something against something. All right, sync cam, I guess I'm not actually all that sure about. So I'll leave it out for now. So I think there's too many options for that. Eastern lines. So in the east, what are some lines? So could it be haiku? A haiku is a, like Eastern being Japanese, lines being like a poem? Could be. I mean, I would feel great if that was correct because I really pulled that straight out of my rear end. Okay, 23 across. Word on either side of against. Half against half. Could it be? No, that doesn't quite make sense. All right, what about over here? Something Farnsworth, the inventor of television. P something IL. What sort of names look like that? Phil? Phil Farnsworth? Phil double L doesn't quite make sense. Philly Farnsworth? Feeling okay about Phil. I mean, it seems like the only kind of reasonable name. If that's an H, what does that mean for hard truths? I have to be honest. I have to be honest with you that his name must be Phil. Great. Especially gratifying, so to speak. No, that's a bit too long for right now. So now that I've got, I have to be honest, what does that mean for my mocap suit components? Could it be sensors? Sensors, of course. That makes sense. Break character would be an escapee, someone who's escaped, like a prison break. Sty something, I'm not sure. Is it Sam Moroni? That would kind of make sense. Stime something. Stimmies? Is that... I know the word stimmy. I guess I'm not sure that it's a tool. Hopi against Hopi? No, okay, maybe not. What on earth? Actually, haiku was, as I said, I pulled that out of my rear end. So, it could... No. because something OPI like OP versus copy, like that's not. I don't think that's right. Stim. What am I missing here? Stymens? Is that a thing? Is that a thing? Cope against cope, hope against hope, dope against dope, rope against rope? No. Okay. I might just leave that out for now. All right, what about this one? Printing mark whose name is from the Latin for is lacking. Printing mark. Printing mark. What would that mean? So when you're printing like a book and there's like a mark, that means it's lacking. I don't really know what that could mean. All right, what about over here? The Busby Berkeley musical film. No, nothing comes to mind. Bug, pest. That doesn't quite work, does it? Bug. So Besot's I'm feeling good about. Norseman I'm feeling good about. Bug. Like bug, like nagging someone maybe. But it could mean bug as in like an insect, I suppose. But and this Phil, like Phil. Oh, Philo. No, not sure. All right, what about here? This financial reporter. So I had tax agent before, but if it's Norsemen, which I think it is, plural, longship builders, plural, Norsemen. Yeah, I'll have to keep thinking about that one. Done up dues. Done up dues. So dues, I assume, means hairstyle. A hairstyle that's been done up. I mean, it's not an updo because both those words exist in the clue. No, not sure. What about 25 down? Very iffy. No, I don't have much to work with. You've called it a bad time. I'm indisposed. I'm busy. I can't talk. I can't talk right now. That could be it. It does fit. Oh my goodness, is it haiku? Is it haiku? But then what is this? Hope against hope? Hops against hops? Sensors, yes. Escapee, yes. Okay, so if it's haiku, what about balances? Balances. Something ending in ises. So like raises or balances. Daises, like a dais could be. No. I was thinking of rises, not balancing. No, I don't know. Does it help with is lacking? Could it be like carrot? But then what is this? Stim? No. All right, what about they might go faster with zinc? Like a reaction, maybe. Go faster with zinc. So zinc could be a catalyst, I suppose, in some sort of reaction. But what reaction is so short in name? And then, or is it something else that goes faster with zinc? What is zinc used for? I mean, it's used for a number of things, I suppose. No, nothing comes to mind though. All right, British slang for a police car. Paddy wagon? Could be wagon, maybe. And then balances. No, okay, maybe it's not wagon. That was a bit of a stretch. Improviser at a workbench. Improviser at a workbench. So someone improvises. No, I'll have to come back to that. All right, let's see if there's some gimmies down here, some ones that can just help me fill in some gaps. Suffix meaning rule, archy, like monarchy, anarchy, that sort of thing. Ruled by who? Okay, suspect. No. Very iffy, still nothing. Climax of operational planning. Climax of operational planning, like the release or launch or go time. No, I don't know. Cursed vibe. It's call at the plate. with a question mark suggests it might not be baseball. Call at the plate. I'm hungry. I'm finished. I've finished my food. I want more. Seconds, please. No, got nothing. Geometry term for the Greek, from the Greek for uneven. Isosceles? No, that's not how it's spelled anyway. Uneven. Scalene? Scalene. Like a scalene triangle. That could be it. Farah, who starred in War and Peace. I have no idea. Okay. Heads. Heads. So like leaders, maybe. Bosses. Bosses could be heads. Maybe. Suspect then could be fishy. Okay. Okay. Call at the plate. Order up. Order up. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Climax of Operation. Oh, D-Day. I was kind of on the right track. Cursed vibe. Bad omen. Oh, Farah. Oh, no, I don't like that. Bad something, though. Bad. Yeah. Farah could be Mel. If it's Mel, I mean, that seems like a reasonable name. Bad mood? Doesn't quite make sense. I might leave it for now. What about this? Pricey catering option. Open bar? Open bar would be quite expensive for catering. And then greenhorn could be a noob. So greenhorn meaning someone who's new to something. Call in a card game. No, nothing comes to mind. Okay, so I'm getting an O. Bad. What if it is M? Mel. Farah. I don't know. Bad mojo? Bad mojo. I guess. That kind of works, actually. Where gold beaver coins were used as currency. Would it be Oregon Trail? Something? Oregon? How Oregon fits. Oh yeah, calling a card game is gin. So if you're playing gin. Green suit. Green suit. Junio. Okay, maybe it's noob rather than noob. Actually, no, that doesn't make it make any more sense. Because something beginning with J. Johnny green suit? Green suit. Does that mean someone who wears a green suit? Or does it mean something entirely different? Not sure. Leader of the Afro-Futuristic Jazz Collective, Orchestra. Afro-Futuristic Jazz Collective. I can't say I'm familiar with my Afro-Futuristic Jazz Collectives, unfortunately. Okay, what about this one? Brand for which General Foods distributed orange-handled coffee pots to restaurants. This seems too niche for me, unfortunately. And it's a brand, so I'm very unlikely to know what it is. Transaction with no money down. No money down. So like a margin call? Like borrowing without collateral? What? No, I don't know. Combinations with numbers and sets. Not sure. Now I'm back over here. Especially gratifying. Better something, maybe. And then bug. Oh, I'm not sure. What if it is better? I might leave that out because what is financial reporter? Tax filer. So you're filing your taxes and thereby reporting your finances. Okay. Done up dues. Galas. Okay. A do is in an event rather than a hairstyle. Okay. Bug being a... what? Buck. Gut. No. Get. No. Oh, bug, that got to me. That really bugs me. So it is Philo. Philo Farnsworth. Who knew? So get to, that really gets to me. That really bugs me. Okay. So maybe it is better. And then the musical film. Dames, I suppose, because very iffy could be dicey. So dames, dicey. Okay. Especially gratifying. Better than SEX. Why not? That fits. Shot putter. So someone who puts shots or something along those lines, whatever that means. I'm not sure what that means. Now the brand, still don't know. Combinations with numbers and sets. I mean, it sounds mathematical somehow. Combinations with numbers and sets. So, numbers can go in sets, and then sets go in subsets and supersets. No, I don't know. Shiva, for example, is a Hindu god. Great. Glad I got that. I can't believe I got haiku. But I'm still very confused by this. Word on either side of against. Hope against hope, is that? Oh, yeah, of course. I'm such a... Huh? Yes, hope. I'm hoping against hope that such a thing is the case. So it's not hope versus hope, which is the way that my brain interpreted that, but rather I'm hoping against hope, which, to be honest, as a idiom makes absolutely no sense, but that's not up to me. So Steinman's then, maybe it was Steinman's all along. And then the printing, okay, no, the printing mark, I don't know. I don't know that it's Steinman's. I think it's a word that I simply don't know at all. Balances, still not sure. They might go faster with zinc. I've got a little bit more here. Welds. Oh, yeah, that's right. When you're welding. Okay, printing mark. Oh, no, this is something that I simply don't know. Where? Okay. Balance. Oh, no. Oh, no. Balances. What? Something seems not correct. Maybe there's no S there. I'll come back to that. That seems like it's going to be a big problem later. But not just yet, because there's more. Application for smoother shifting gearbox, right? Application for smoother shifting. Application, though? What does that mean? Gearing? Like rather than gearbox? What's the application? That's a bit confusing. What about this one? Co-producer whose name is the song title spelled backwards. Okay. They had to give me something, so they gave me that, All right. Naive looking in a way. Naive looking, like docile. No, that doesn't fit. Naive looking. No, nothing comes to mind. What, even or nearly so at Wimbledon. One set, one game. On serve. Even or nearly so. When the game is tied, so on deuce, maybe? On deuce? That could be it. And then core supporters, though. Something AD. Not sure. What about here? Baba Ganoush. So it's like an eggplant dip, I thought. This RE is doing my head in. Maybe it's not gear at all. Core supporters. So I'm getting an S, maybe. Supporters being plural. And if so, then naive looking. Actually, no, I think it would be E. Doe-like. Yeah, naive looking doe-like. Big doe eyes. Well, could it be doe eyes, in fact? I wonder. No, doe-like. Could be doe eyes. It's doe something, I reckon. I'm not convinced enough to commit myself either way. Application for smoother shifting. So let's say it is gear something. Core supporters. What? Core supporters? I can't think of anything. I can't think of anything but what Baba Ganoush. For example, it is a dip. It is a spread that doesn't fit. Spread doesn't fit. Dang. Oldest four-letter papal name. I have to assume Paul, right? And then Baba Ganoush. Paired? Poured? Maybe it's something ending with D. Dough? Oh, goodness. All right, now I've got a couple of sections that are a bit confusing. Seat fillers. Seat fillers. What fills the seat? Your bum. Audience members. No. Early major producer of vacuum tubes. So my first thought was GE, which obviously doesn't fit. IBM, maybe? Could be. Scuffled. So let's say, what if it is IBM? I mean, it doesn't look like it doesn't necessarily look crazy for it to be IBM. Oh, junior. I'm like, what sort of word? JUNI. That's bizarre. Junior executive. Junior executive is junior executive is a new suit, referring to executive as suits. All right, so it was one love rather than, or nearly so. That's so bizarre. It's an odd way of saying it, which suggests to me it's not gear because then this would be AE and that's not a thing. Okay, junior executive, cool. So what if it is doe-eyed? Doe-eyed? Could be. So the beaver coins, I feel like Oregon's something. Oregon. I mean, what else could it be, right? Oregon. Yeah. But Oregon what? Oh, hang on. I need to get rid of Paul. No, Paul actually still works. But IBM obviously doesn't work. RCA? Could be RCA? Not 100% sure. I think they were an electrical company. Not 100% sure. So if it's Oregon, then what does that mean? I've heard of the Oregon Trail, but this clearly is something a little bit different. Okay, core supporters. Oh, that just makes me more confused now. Double E. My core supporters, my something. I don't know. Baba Ganoush. If it is Paul. No, nothing comes to mind. Nothing comes to mind. Scuffled. No, again, nothing comes to mind. All right, where can I make a bit of progress? Maybe with shot putter. Could be shot putter. Someone who puts shots. Could it be someone shooting a gun? Someone. How do you put shot? I mean, other than the obvious. The question mark suggests that there's some pun happening here. Like a shot, like a joke, maybe. But then N. No, I'm not sure. And then the improviser at a workbench. So the first thing that came to mind when I thought workbench was like a workshop with saws and sawdust and safety glasses and all that sort of thing. Not a place where you tend to improvise. So yeah, so that's a bit confusing. Oh, combinations with numbers and sets. Okay, the word safe popped into my mind. Could that work? Combinations with numbers and sets. No, it doesn't quite do it for me. What about this? British slang for police car. No, not sure about that. What about this brand for which General Foods distributed orange-handled coffee pots? I assume it's a coffee brand, right? Why else would you be distributing coffee pots to restaurants if not? If not for that. All right, where could I be wrong? So Paul could be incorrect. I don't know that. RCA I'm feeling actually okay about. Better than sex makes sense with junior executive. Transaction with no money down, like a loaner? I don't love it. Yeah, I'm not that convinced. I'm not convinced by that. Because you do put money down, usually, when you get a loan. And a transaction. The transaction in that case would be the loan itself. Transaction. Maybe there's some pun happening here. Transaction with no money down. So like maybe getting something for free because there's no money involved. Yeah, I'm not too sure. All right, maybe I can have a breakthrough in this section somehow. So hope against hope. Sam. It could be Sal. It could be Sal Maroney, actually. So then slender pop hospital tools style. Style? Why would they be styling things in a hospital? Stylers. That doesn't quite make sense. So haiku, I feel like it has to be haiku because I can't talk in Hindu god. The KU thing. What else could it be? And then hope against hope. Yeah, it must be haiku. Maybe wells is wrong. They might go faster, but then could be SKP that's wrong. Escaper. It doesn't even. No, it doesn't quite work. Because wearer, WARER. It just seems wrong somehow. Yeah. And stylers. Hospital tools? Yeah, I just don't know. So what? It could be Sam, it could be Sal, it could be Saw. That's a bit odd. I mean, M's like stimmy, but then this is an E, so stylers? Maybe it's stylers. Well, part of the reason why I don't like that A is because wearer. Like, what the heck is that? And also this, EISES. For balances. Yeah, I'm not loving that. British slang for police car as well. I think that just doesn't seem to exist in my brain, unfortunately. And then improviser at a workbench. Goodness me. Something ending in R, perhaps. Improviser. So TI something could be the case, in which case scuffled in dialect could be. So if you're scuffling with someone, I assume scuffling with someone, so like fighting. That was my interpretation of scuffled. Are there others? I'm not aware of others. Scuffled. Ran at. Rambled. No, I don't know. And then the transaction, and then these beaver coins. Yeah, it's a tricky one. Oregon what? Oregon V could it be? Because I would have thought like convoy is it one of the only things that can make sense, but it doesn't fit if this is RCA. I mean, it might not be RCA. Maybe it's like C something. But then, oldest four-letter papal name. I mean, it must be Paul. Paul was like the first one, I'm pretty sure. And so then RCA. So what if I've got RCA and I've got Paul? Scuffled. Rassled. Rassle. How's that spelled? Rassled? What if it is Pious? Pious. Pope Pius or something. Okay. That kind of makes a bit more sense. Now, I don't like this spelling here, though. Rassled. I feel like I've heard that word before. Scuffled. Oh, two S's, right. It might be two S's instead of two L's. Okay, so maybe gear oil, like the oil that goes in your gearbox. If so, then maybe it's not One Love, but something else. No, this is Eno. So that must be One Love, because it's junior executive. I mean, wrestled, I suppose. I don't know, but what else could make sense, right? So maybe doe-eyed is wrong. Yeah, maybe doe-eyed is wrong. But then core support is being an AE. So I'm getting an S, maybe. Dos, Dossi. And then the Baba Ganoush, for example, is a... no. Okay, maybe it's not gear oil. But something oil. So you apply some sort of oil. I mean, surely it's gear, right? What else could it be? But then, what else could this be? If not One Love. Yeah, that's odd. It's very, very odd. Very, very odd. Gear oil. Pearls, Baba Ganoush. Let's see. Let's try a bunch of vowels and see if anything clicks. Baba Ganoush. Pearl. Pearl. Oops. None of those really make a whole lot of sense. Something getting in Y, could it be? Polly. Polly. Yeah, this is odd. So doe-eyed doesn't quite work because then A double E. So Hindu God, yes. Eno, yes. Junior executive, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Scuffled, wrestled, pretty sure. Because if this is a Y, then none of this really makes sense. It must be oil, right? For smoother shifting, yeah. Gear oil. Even or nearly so. Oh, maybe it was on serve all along instead of... Yeah, okay. Even or nearly so on serve? I mean, that's a stretch. That is a stretch. Yeah, okay. It was one serve. Yeah, on serve, rather. Because then core supporters is base. Seat fillers is, in fact, butts. And Baba Ganoush is a puree. Okay. So, obviously, Oregon Territory, right, in that place. Okay, that makes sense. Now, improviser at a workbench. Yeah, okay. Improviser at a workbench. So I'm getting an aria. Cora. Tip Cora. Tin para. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just throwing words at the wall and seeing if anything fits. Could I know perhaps who this leader of the Afrofuturistic Jazz Collective could be? Mon Ra, is there something like that? Man Ray, I would have thought, is a name that I've heard. Yeah, because it must be some sort of vowel here, like something Amon Ra, could be like Mon Ra, something like that. And then what would the brand be? Yeah, no, I don't know my brands. Does that help with shot putter? I'll get rid of the M for now, just in case. So if shot putter, N something something S. H, could it be? No, that doesn't quite work. Could be S? No, it doesn't quite make sense. Est. Shot putter. Shot. I feel like it could end in O. S-O. Somehow. And then, because I don't think it would end in like I, or it could end in A, but actually it's probably more likely to end in E. to be honest. Tifera, Timera, improviser workbench. Okay, if it ends in E, what does that mean for shot putter? Noose? Is that, I don't know what that would have to do with shot. Noise. Again, I don't really know what that would have to do with shots. Transaction with no money down. Would that help? No. Transaction with no money down. Oh, barter. Barter. It's when you're just trading stuff. Shot putter is a nurse. Okay, the nurse is okay. Shots is in like flu shot. Okay. And then I don't know what this unra is. Munra, tunra, gunra, punra? No. Okay, so barter, nurse being a shot putter, barter being a transaction with no money down, improviser something ER. So tippera, tinera. Oh, does that help with combinations with numbers and sets? Combinations. Because my first thought here was banks, but that doesn't quite really make sense, unfortunately. Combinations of banks. What does that mean? Combination of numbers and sets. Numbers and sets. Could it be balls? Maybe. Could it be a baseball thing? Could it be a baseball thing? I'm not sure. Sets is not really a baseball thing. And there are a lot of numbers involved, but it doesn't quite work. And I'm no closer, I think, to this balances. Because I would think like ways. Could it be ways? What if it's ways? I don't know why it would be ways. But if it is ways, then Sorg. Well, I guess I was never really convinced on this one. Hope Against Hope does work. Escape. Break character. Escaper. Escaper. I didn't even think of that. If it's escaper instead of escapee, possibly. Does that help? So this is haiku. That is pretty much 100%. Sensors. Oh, okay, yeah, that's probably why I didn't have that. Mocap suit components being sensors. I mean, that just makes too much sense. Welds going faster with zinc also just makes too much sense. Haiku makes sense. SKP. And, well, stylers doesn't really make sense. But I really don't know. Look, maybe it's not welds. Maybe it's something else entirely. Oh, colds. Right. If you want to get over your cold, take zinc. You know, I thought I knew something about welding, and I don't think I do. I don't think I do. You know, the whole zinc thing is probably not actually that accurate. But balances then could be poises. You're poising something. And I guess stylets. Sure, stylets. You know, one of my first thoughts was carrot, and I didn't type it in. That was a mistake. What about this one? British slang for a police car. Pan something. Panda? Would they call them pandas? They could. Could they? What if it is panda? Then what would that mean for combinations with numbers and sets? Bands have numbers, bands perform sets. Okay. And then improviser. Tintera? Tinnera? Tinera? Because I don't think I'm going to be able to figure out who this person is, and I don't know that I'll figure out this brand either. Tinterer? Tinkerer. tinkerer, someone who tinkers. They improvise. Of course they do. Great. Okay, a tinkerer. Now, here I think I just need to hack. Because I have no idea. I have no idea. All right, it's definitely not going to be Q, W, something. One of these is going to work. I honestly, nothing at all comes to mind. Sanka. Okay, I don't know what Sanka is. But I got there in the end. Oh, goodness me, almost 45 minutes. That's rough. That is rough. But I can happily say that I did get it done without having to. Sun Ra? I think I've actually heard of Sun Ra. I mean, maybe 10 or more years ago, I think I've heard that word. And I think I tried listening to the music and I could not get through it. Sanka, I have simply never heard of in my life. Why they would call a police car a panda is a bit unclear to me. I would have assumed they'd be blue and white rather than black and white. But who knows? Maybe they are black and white over there. I'm not from Britain. Oregon Territory. That was tricky. And welds really threw me off. I felt like, yeah, of course, a weld would go faster with zinc. I don't know why I thought that. I guess because I really wanted it to be true. But yeah, colds, I suppose, can be dealt with a bit easier if you take zinc. All right, that is Saturday, the 25th of October, 2025.